All right, hello, welcome to the weather update. It's a quarter to 10, September 21st, entering fall, and we have fall on the way in the form of a cold front that will be arriving tomorrow. But as far as today went, it was another warm and somewhat, humid day, a little bit of humidity out there. Looking at the current conditions out at Islip, 70 with a dew point of 64, so showing you what the day was like at Islip. A little cooler than yesterday, thanks to the sea breeze. And you could see that we had a cloud deck that popped up over us in the afternoon again, a cumulus. It was almost like a sea breeze front or something that popped up. We can look at the MODIS in a minute, but you can see kept us a little bit cooler than yesterday. So at least it was a little cooler, but still warmer than it should be at this time of the year. You'll also notice the purple; those are coastal high surf advisories because of Fiona, which we're going to be talking about in a moment here. Looking at the current, we'll just put the dew points on the screen and we'll show you here what the dew points are. And you see dew points generally in the mid 60s. So a little bit humid out there. Not very humid, but definitely feel it, that's for sure. Looking at our high temperatures today, you'll see Long Island generally in the mid 70s. While Jersey and the city were above 80 degrees. The North Shore a little closer to 80, 81 in the city. And yeah, we had mid 80s in New Jersey, so warmer there. But there was a pretty decent sea breeze today across the area. So looking at the MODIS satellite here, which we'll go and we'll show you what the skies were like today. And there's Fiona. We'll talk about that. I know I want to get to that right away. You can see the cumulus there that popped up. And then we had a little bit of cirrus. You can see there's the arc there of a sea breeze front. But a good amount of sunshine today, but definitely warmer than it should be. Definitely feeling like a late summer's day instead of a early fall day, but that is going to change shortly. That right there is Fiona. So let's get to the latest on that because Fiona is incredibly strong right now. Public advisory as of 8 p.m. Location 25.9 north, 71.4 west, about 605 miles southwest of Bermuda, and 1,365 miles south-southwest of Halifax, Nova Scotia. And yes, they're talking about this already heading Nova Scotia, and they're getting ready. This could be, like I've talked about, this is going to be a major disaster if the forecasts come to bear. So maximum sustained winds are 130 miles an hour, moving north at 9 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 934 millibars and 27.58 inches. Hurricane watches are in effect for Bermuda, and a tropical storm warning is in effect for Bermuda. And this is now a Category 4. Fiona is a Category 4 hurricane now. And so some more strengthening is still possible. And it's going to be a Hurricane 4 cyclone through Saturday. Hurricane force winds, it's already getting larger. Now extend outward up to 45 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 195 miles from the center. So this is a huge, huge storm. And if we go and we look at the map, you'll see here they have it hitting Nova Scotia, though they have it as post-tropical. It's going to have some tropical characteristics, I think, but it's going to stay a major hurricane. Look at how far north it stays a major hurricane for. It's got nothing but above normal ocean temperatures. Those SSTs are up there, and that's going to power this thing right through, right up into Nova Scotia. It's really it's going to be another terrible storm for Nova Scotia, and we're going to see more of this again due to these. It's almost like they're a little worse off than we are because look at how much further east they stick out. So they have a tendency to get these storms because of that. But usually they weaken, but because of the warm waters, that's not going to be happening. And if we look at some of these other maps here, like wind probability here, you see, look at that map right there. That's pretty impressive right there, and they're pretty confident in that track. All right, we have Gaston as well, Gaston, I should say. It's just going to be kind of meandering out here as a tropical storm. But it is actually gaining strength already. Maximum sustained wind 65 miles an hour. Could eventually become a hurricane, moving northeast at 14 miles an hour. And its current location, 39 north, 40 west. And then we have this other area of disturbed weather. That's going to become possibly the next storm that possibly could get into the Gulf of Mexico. That will have to be watched as well. And several more waves here. So the tropics are extremely, extremely active. So let's go to the latest satellite imagery on Fiona. So we're going to look at Fiona. So let's go to Fiona right now. No storms currently being tracked. So, all right, we currently have an issue with the satellite. We have no, there's an error. So we don't have the floater that we normally have for, which is really sucks. Let's see if we can see it on here. Currently unavailable. So we the site has just gone down, the satellite imagery. So hopefully maybe we can get it from Tropical Tidbits. So we'll have to look at this instead. So here you go. Look at that well-formed eye there. It really just, again, this is a Category 4 hurricane now. 130 miles an hour maximum sustained winds we're looking at. So this is what a monster it is. I mean, look at how huge it is. And again, if we look at it on the MODIS, if we were to place this over New York City, it would stretch from almost Washington, D.C. up past Boston. That's how big it is. And it's just growing in size. By the way, here's Gaston. All right, so we'll look at Gaston in a moment. This is this other area of disturbed weather here that could become something. This also looks pretty, this looks like this could be something too as well. So tropics, just very active. So there you go. There is Hurricane Fiona. And we can, let's see, we can change. Let's see, we can do the true color. Unfortunately, we don't have the visible satellite loop, which kind of sucks. But there is the shortwave IR, and that is really something to see. What a remarkable hurricane that is right there. It's almost perfect the way it looks. It really is. It's almost perfect, and you're already seeing Bermuda's already getting the cirrus from the outer bands of that thing. So, just incredible to see that. Unfortunately, we don't have any more high res. Yeah, no visible. No, because it's too late. It sucks that the other site is down. I don't know what happened here. We had the sites. It literally went down while we were. Let's see. Maybe it'll come back. Oh, here it is. Back now. Okay, good. All right. So that wasn't too long. So here you go. There's Fiona. Again, I like showing this as it goes from day to night. You can see just real impressive looking, perfect symmetry on this storm here as it heads toward, it looks like a brush with Bermuda, about a direct hit with Nova Scotia. So let's go back to the Tropical Tidbits site here, and we'll take a look at Fiona on the models again. And you can see here, they pretty much all agree on this track. Nova Scotia. Newfoundland now looking less likely for landfall. Nova Scotia is looking more likely. And look at how far some of these models take this up and kind of keep it into some kind of circulation well up into the Arctic. This is really almost unheard of. I have never, ever seen this. Never, ever seen this. It's just another reminder of what we're dealing with as we deal with our climate catastrophe that's going on. And it's only going to get worse. And these are the GEFS ensembles here. All right, GEPS ensembles, and you can see again. It's if it goes in between the islands, that would be the best thing, because at least the center of it doesn't go over the most heavily populated areas. But we all know these tracks can change, and we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Look at this intensity guidance. Keeps it a Cat.4 for the next 48 hours at least. So yeah, it's going to be pretty intense for quite a while. And again, if we were to look at we did look at the map, didn't we? The NHC, the warning cone. We'll show it again. You can see that tropical storm warning for Bermuda. It just edges in Bermuda there. So yeah, obviously we got a lot going on, and then we're going to look at Gaston here for a moment here. Not looking as impressive, and I'm not really going to waste my time too much with this because it's out in the middle of the ocean. It's not really going to be a threat to anyone, except maybe some small islands. It'll be a threat to someone, obviously, but... Well, anyway, let's talk about what we have coming, and I'm going to shift this off to the eastern U.S. view, so you get an idea of what's going to be happening here at the surface. So here's this cold front and trough coming through. Be glad it's coming through. It's going to protect us from Fiona. Comes through tomorrow. Cold front, chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. That would be our next rain chance, and then you have this big, beautiful high come in and bring us some really nice weather Friday and right into the weekend. And if you look off to your right there's Fiona making a landfall. Look at how deep it is, making a landfall onto Nova Scotia. That's incredible right there. But for us, nice weather, and that continues into Sunday until we see the next chance of rain perhaps on Monday. But if we just go a little further here, you can see this would be the next tropical system. And GFS wants to bring it into the Gulf. All right, so that's a ways off. I'm not going to focus on that. We've got to deal with Fiona right now. All right. So let's go and take a closer look at our area, and we'll go to the HRRR first. And we will go to the 0Z HRRR, which we do not have, apparently. So there's some kind of delay going on with the HRRR model that we don't have. So this is the last run we've got, the 23Z run. I'm going to have to go roll back to the 18Z run. So there's some kind of delays going on here with the data. I don't know what's going on. Probably everything is slow because of all the storms. But you'll see tomorrow the chances of showers and thunderstorms. This actually brings a hefty line through right around noonish, perhaps. And then behind it, by the afternoon, it starts wrapping up, maybe a little light rain, and then that's it. And then we're northwest winds. But you can see there's a little bit of a V there shape in the isobars that could cause some severe weather. However, the SPC does not seem to be too concerned about that. If we go to the SPC, you'll see here, I'm just going to open up another window here, Storm Prediction Center here. And if we go to the SPC, you see that slight part off to the west there. But if we go and look at tomorrow here, day 2, let's see. They just have the marginal well off to the south. So for us, they just have us in a thunderstorm risk. They don't really think we're going to see any severe weather. All right. Looking at tonight. So tonight, obviously, dew points are up there. They're going to be rising. Southwest winds. Humidity peaks early tomorrow morning. Right ahead of that cold front, dew points in the 60s. Cold front comes through right around that early afternoon hours. And then you see this rapid shift to the northwest. Here's the time, 2 o'clock, wind shift to the northwest. And we have much drier air coming in place. So dew points go from the 60s to near 70, dropping into the 50s, 40s by evening, and very strong northwest winds on Friday, northwest to north winds, really northwest winds on Friday, and dew points are very low in the 30s to 40s. So really nice, big change in the air mass, and it's going to feel really much more refreshing and fall-like. So here we go for tomorrow. You see the warmth in the morning will be short-lived. We'll have some mid to upper 70s perhaps, but that's gone once those showers come through. And we see temperatures drop into the 70s, 60s. By sunset, we are dropping into the 50s. You'll wake up Friday. We're going to probably be in the upper 40s and low 50s. And then for Friday, we're only going to see highs in the mid-60s and maybe lower than that on Long Island. It's showing even colder than that. If we look at the GFS, we go a little further here. You'll see here that we'll probably see highs struggling to reach the low 60s on Long Island. There may be some additional cloud cover over Long Island, less over New Jersey, more sunshine there, probably low to mid-60s there. And then going into the weekend here, you'll see, again, you'll have that dry air in place. So we stay highs moderating a little bit, upper 60s perhaps on Saturday. Dew points, we still have the northwest wind keeping the dew points low. And then Sunday we start seeing that start to increase with more of a southerly flow, which will bring the temperatures back up as well, probably into the low 70s. So let's go now look at some of the other models when it comes to tomorrow's weather activity and see what they do. So let's go to this. We will go at first go to the NAM here and show you what the NAM does. This is the latest NAM, and this is really impressive. Right around the morning here, 12Z, it brings some pretty severe weather in over. This is the NAM, all right, but still, it really brings a really hefty line over Suffolk County in the morning here. This is the 0Z. It's as far as we have. Notice when you go to the 18Z, that line isn't even there. So it brings a line in later, more around that time that the HRRR would bring it in. All right, but still, that's really impressive line there. But again, SPC doesn't seem to think this is going to be. We're going to see severe weather tomorrow, despite what some of these models are saying. But the NAM always has a tendency to be a little bullish on that. We can also look at the HDRPS as well. Also, with the concept of this line around right around the morning, 12, right in the morning, a hefty line of thunderstorms, and then maybe some more showers later on in the afternoon. Either way, these will bring us some rain. Not enough to alleviate the drought, but if we look at the HRRR here, we might get a half an inch to maybe some areas get an inch of rain. So maybe, and it's mostly likely going to be over Long Island, less likely over New Jersey. If we looked at the HRRR model, which of course we only now, yeah, the 0Z never ran, so I don't know what the hell happened with the 0Z. We never got the 0Z run. So it somehow skipped the 0Z run. It never showed up. But this is all we have right now, and you can see it's a little less with the precipitation. So, and then we could also go look at the GFS. And this is the GFS here, and you can see it seems to keep most of the precipitation. There we go. Move this along. It actually does give a half an inch to an inch of rain. So maybe there would be an extended period of time of rain. We could look at the FV3, which is the higher resolution model of the GFS. And this takes us out to 21Z. It looks like it does develop some scattered showers. And so one line comes through in the morning here, around 8 o'clock. And then another line follows. There's more instability later on. Here's 15Z. We got more activity going on here, showers and perhaps some thunderstorms. So this is an opportunity for rain. Again, I still won't rule out anything severe here, just because of the way it looks on these models. It's a sharp cold front. You've got a humid air mass and a very dry air mass behind it. So, it's something to consider. Let's go to the skies next. Obviously, we will have plenty of clouds around tomorrow. But as we get into Friday, it clears out. You can see there's some cloud cover over Long Island. It might just be an additional bit of instability, cloud cover perhaps, over Long Island. And, of course, this is the low-resolution GFS. And then by Saturday and Sunday, we'll be dealing with some more cirrus. So best skies will probably be Friday. Let's go look at the RGEM. So here's the RGEM, and you'll see again for Friday. You can see some of that cloud cover over Long Island to start. But as you get later in the day, especially over New Jersey, you're mostly sunny, and then we'll have to deal with a little bit of that cirrus on Saturday, but still plenty of sun. Sunday we'll have more clouds. And I really don't want to focus too much on the cloud forecast. Let me go now to Ventu Sky. We can use this as another parameter for severe weather for tomorrow is the Cape values. So let's go into look at tomorrow. Here's 5 a.m., and you can see not really that impressive. Some low-level Cape, mostly south and east, and mostly just to the east of New Jersey, too, as well. It does come up a little more in the afternoon, you can see, but again, mostly to our east. And actually, this is right in the right spot, South Shore, especially the Pine Barrens area. We could really use some of that rain. And then that kind of moves away by 2 o'clock. If we look at the lifted index, which is another factor we could do again, seems to be centered over that Suffolk County area right there. So Suffolk County, and then you can see by 2 o'clock the cooler air is already coming in. So these storms, the problem is with the front coming through early in the morning like this, it generally does not produce because the ground hasn't enough time to heat the atmosphere. But we'll have to see the threat for thunderstorms. If we were to look at the precipitation here, you can see it does show thunderstorms, and it is showing some heavy rain. So we'll have to see. Hopefully we can get some rain tomorrow out of this. Won't be enough to stop the drought, but we need that rain because it's going to be very dry and windy on Friday, so we don't want to have a brush fire risk. And so I would like to see at least a quarter of an inch of rain, but probably more. I'd like to see more like a half an inch to maybe even an inch, especially over out east, which would be absolutely great if we can get that. But we will have to see. But now, let's shift gears and talk about Hurricane Fiona, because we're going back to tidbits now. And let me go back to tidbits. And let's go back and let's go to the Atlantic Canada. I gotta find it here. Let's see if we can find Atlantic Canada. I know I had it here a minute ago. Where is it? It's hard to find. I always miss it. I saw it here. Now where is it? I don't know. Was here a minute ago. I feel like an idiot. Where is the Atlantic Canada? I don't see it here. I see North Atlantic's Pacific. Oh, Southeast Canada. Here we go. All right, so here we go. So let's take a look at this. All right, so here we go. Here's the impact of Fiona right here, probably around midnight Saturday. Midnight Friday night Saturday is when this thing's going to hit. It looks like it's heading right into the middle. Just this is a very bad situation right here. Right, so look at how tightly packed those isobars are. That is an extremely deep storm. And look at these winds. I mean, these dark purples. I mean, that's over 100 miles an hour coming in there. So I would expect the whole of Nova Scotia to lose power with a storm like this. There'll be tremendous damage and storm surge. And we're going to have to watch this possibility closely. And you can see it tracks in circulation. Still kind of has some even as it comes out of the Labrador, it's still got some kind of circulation to it. By then it'll be extratropical, but I mean, this is incredible. It really is. It really is incredible to see this. And again, you can see it's kind of off to the right here. But if we go to eastern U.S., you can sort of see it here and follow it. It's really just incredible to see. So let's look at windy.com. And this is going to get in ranges, more of the short range models as well. And we can track this on windy.com as well. So let's track Fiona on windy.com. So you can see this is the European. It actually has a picking up strength here. You can see it's going to go east of Bermuda. So good for Bermuda. They are not going to have to deal with the worst of this thing. But if you're on the right side of this thing, and that where the white is, that is really intense right there. And you can see it actually, that area of white continues to expand as this thing moves northeast. All right, this is the European model. All right, it's every bit of a Category 4, even this far north, which is incredible. So think about our Category 4 now. Think about if the track was a little different. Category 4 hurricanes in this area. It's never happened before, but this is just a reminder of what can happen with climate change. All right. So you can see by the time it gets toward Nova Scotia, it starts weakening a little bit, but still packing quite a punch. And again, one of the worst hurricanes I've ever seen getting up into Nova Scotia. And it takes its time, too. It's not moving that fast. Even up, usually they race through, but it's still going to take its time. It's not moving that fast. All right. And if we put wind gusts on the map, which is really the more high-end wind probability here, you'll see, look at this, 166 this far north. That's incredible to see. I have never seen it. Honestly, if you're in Nova Scotia right now, I would consider possibly an island-wide evacuation with such a storm like this. This is going to be, still have a good 48 hours to at least evacuate some people. And I think be best to evacuate people from Nova Scotia at this point with such a storm bearing down on them. And this is, again, sad. And you can see it's just not moving very fast. This is the European model, obviously a little stronger than the GFS. If you look at the GFS, it's a little less intense here. I keep this because it shows the structure very well here. But here you are Friday. And, again, it continues. What's amazing is it just holds on to its strength this far north. Incredible to see. I've never seen anything like this. So, yeah, we're going to be busy tracking this. There's this little island right here to the right. I don't know what island that is, but you definitely don't want to be there when this thing hits, because it's going to be all hell is going to break loose. This is going to be a historic disaster for Nova Scotia if these forecasts pan out. But, again, it's really just incredible to see such an intense storm here. Just going nuts out that way. It really is. Impacts, again, for us, mainly just, the high surf that we're going to see. So we're going to see some, especially as you get later into Friday, we're going to see some high surf along our beaches. Nothing crazy, 8 feet, but more in New England. If you're on Cape, that's where we're going to see more. Especially on Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia is going to be dealing with that high surf already on Friday. And then come Saturday, take a look at this. And this is the GFS model. Should probably be switching this to the European. It's a little more accurate. with the high surf. You can see here, Sydney, 46 feet, 50-foot waves coming in. It's unbelievable. We are going to witness one of the worst natural disasters to ever hit Atlantic Canada and Nova Scotia. And anyone living in that area needs to take this extremely seriously. Let's just type in Nova Scotia on the map here, and you'll see that there's articles already. Prepare now for Fiona, because it's going to be very bad. All right. And if we look at the coastline here, we'll just go and look at the coastline in Nova Scotia. I'm pretty sure it's pretty rugged, and that's the good news, is that they have a rugged coastline. So let's see what it looks like here. I can't really see the water, but there are mountains basically along the coast, so cliffs. So it's going to be hard for the storm surge to get into a lot of these areas here. Let's see. What just happened here? All right, here we are. This is Halifax over here. But there are areas that are more low-lying, I think. So we're going to, I think, not everything is, yeah, this is a little more low-lying. The water's just going to come right in here, and all this is going to be gone. All of it. That's what could happen. Yeah, I don't know why this keeps, like, resetting the map here. But it's going to be a very bad situation for Nova Scotia. And, yeah, an island-wide power outage is probably, even the transmission system, then nothing's going to be able to withstand that kind of thing. I mean, I don't think their transmission system is up to the task of dealing with this storm here. I mean, let's take a look. I'll show you what their power transmission system looks like for a moment. Let's see. We can show you here. We get an idea. Yeah, oh yeah. These structures here are going to fall down like dominoes. These are wood. They have wood structures. See, this is all wood here. That's coming down. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they're going to have an island-wide blackout, very much like Puerto Rico. I think the whole island is going to lose power. They shouldn't be using wood structures like this. They're going to come down like matchsticks, those winds. Anyway, that is going to wrap up this weather update. Again, major disaster heading for Nova Scotia, and I'll keep you updated on it. It's going to be bad, and my prayers go out to anyone there. Like I said, if I was I would just get the hell out of there. I wouldn't stick around. This is not something you want to watch. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.